Welcome back to another video, guys. I hope you're freaking pumped because we've just received a lot of parts come in. The engine is back from the machine shop for the 180SX. It's been sitting there, very sad. But before we jump into it, make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment below, and hit that subscribe button. And whoever subscribes to the channel right now is going to receive the rest of this video. I don't know. I got nothing, eh? I don't know. Scrap all that.
Tell me, is it whack up in the air? Rapping scattered off the gear. I can map him, get it, yeah. It's like a tracker, get distracted, send him back like in the mail. Not a fraction of them real. Catch him lacking, run the drill. Running through the shit like a motherfucking dage.
Alright, so if you're new to the channel, this is my 180SX. And I did an RB25 swap on it when I originally got it. It was completely stock. And just Dad and myself in his shed. And we got it to a freaking awesome level. It ended up being about 500 horsepower with the bigger turbo on it. And then, unfortunately, it caught on fire on the highway. You can see that clip here. Holy shit, the car's on fire. I'm pretty sure the car's on fire, just stalled. We are not good. We are not good at all. Fuck. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Fuck's sake. Oh, fuck, it's on fire proper. Yeah, so that was a shit day. Learned a few lessons. Fire extinguisher, another reminder. If you guys don't have a fire extinguisher yet, go and get one. There's a link in my description below. From NollandIndustries, they supply the fire extinguishers and this little freaking nice bracket that looks really good. Done an episode on that as well. But yeah, definitely get yourself one because it saved the whole car from being burnt down. Another reminder with your insurance, if you've got full comprehensive insurance and you've got agreed value on the car, make sure you, every now and then, you call up your insurance company and re-agree that value to higher, because these cars, these Japanese cars, it's going up in value like crazy in most cars in general. So 2 reminders: fire extinguisher and full comp insurance, agreed value. Make sure you bump it up or suffer like me, because I only had this insured for 8 grand. No, 10 grand? I only had this insured for like 10 grand when it's worth like 25, 30, depending on who you ask. But anyway, the engine wasn't affected by the fire, but it did have low compression and it was burning heaps of oil, so I knew the engine was probably going to be pretty tired. And when we pulled it down in the other video, this is just a quick recap, take you up to speed. Pulled it down, 2 cracked ringlets, really bad with Tom, and that also had on the head, the water gallery had like corroded, like right back so close to that freaking edge of the piston wall. So that head gasket was about to leak and have a blown head gasket. So close to happening, but I don't know, just got lucky on this engine. Lasted me like 6 years, stock engine, unopened, completely stock. Stock head gasket, stock head bolts, 500 horsepower. Freaking weapons, RBs are so good! And Xavier, don't tell me anything about your shitty SRs, mate. But, wow. You might have seen in the background of the episodes the new engine floating around in bits and pieces. It's spaced around the place. Or you might not have noticed. So let's go through it now. First of all, we got the head here. It's been fully reconditioned. It's had all the valves serviced. I'm pretty sure they've replaced the valves because they look brand new. Nice and clean. The head's been decked and they welded. So this hole right here was like all the way back to here, like so corroded out of this corner here. But they've filled it in with weld and then shaved it back and smoothed it off. Done a really good job of that. You can barely even tell there's one little tiny mark there. But yeah, this is looking real nice. It's all been checked over, ready to go. So that's the head. Basically, the head's, I think that's going to be the easy part. Another thing, I'm just learning as I go here. So if I say some shit that's not right and it sounds whack as, sorry about that. I'm still learning. And don't take anything and don't take everything I say to be true, because yeah, I'm just saying what I know. So anyway, bear with me. And if you have any tips, make sure you let me know in the comments, because I appreciate that. It's It's the way we're all learning here, and everyone's reading the comments and figuring it out. So the head is pretty much done. Just the cams will have to be bolted in properly. I don't know if they are seated. You'd have to top dead center it anyway. I don't know. But yeah, the head is here. It's all wrapped up. It's nice. It's got oil on it. It's freaking beautiful. There's a box of goodies that came with the head and the block. Just some bungs, all the old rubbers and washers and stuff that I'm not going to be using, and some knock sensors. There's two crucial bungs that have to go in the block. I'll show you them now. So we've got the girdle that holds your cam in place. That's sitting on top here, and then under that you've got the block that's been honed out. So this is where the lesson begins. So basically I took the block in to the engine shop and said, hey, I just want to do it as cheap as possible. I want to rebuild this engine. It's RB25 DET Series 2. And he said, okay, so when they get as worn out as mine, you can't bore out the center. Well, you can and oversize the pistons, but oversize the rings, but it's not worth it because it's just so far worn out that you're better off just going forged pistons for the price. It's about an extra 15 to 2 grand extra on top of the normal price to go forged. Didn't realize that until now. I got quoted and then I had money set aside. Long story short, ended up being more expensive than I thought. And the engine shop basically said, hey, we need to hone this out and put forged pistons in there. That's what they recommended, and I was like, alright, sweet. Tom convinced me on forged as well, which is, that sounds freaking cool, have a forged engine. And then, yeah, the prices, it ended up being $5,800 to do the engine work and a forged pistons kit. So, bloody expensive, and that's not even assembled. Now, the task for us is to assemble this beast. But yeah, basically what we have here is the block has been honed out to make it round. So when it wears out, the pistons come up and they come up on an angle like that, and they slap. Is it on the way back down on the D stroke? I don't know. But they slap out the sides and it makes it oval shape instead of a circle. So they have to hone it out to get it back to round. And it's just been worn out that much to get it round. The gap is so big. It's only like super small, but it's the gap that they have to like make circular is so big that the piston rings would have to stick out quite a long way. That's my impression of what's going on here, but I could be wrong. I think that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. So one of the big mods that people do on the RB25 is these are your oil feeds. And they put restrictors in there because the problem with the RB is it pumps up so much oil, but it can't get it out. So it all gets stuck in the head. So they put reducers in the feeds, and then they put a drain in the back of the head. They drill out a hole in the back of the head, and you put in like a fitting that runs an AN line, and it takes a shitload of oil out of the head and back down. So that way you're getting less oil come up and more oil come out. Solves the issue. That leads you to upgrading the oil pump because they fail. But yeah, I'm doing this like as basic as I can, because if you think about it, I had a completely stock engine in there for like so many years of thrashing at 500 horsepower, and like all that shit is definitely a good idea to do, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna change. I'll tell you, if you wait till the end of this video, I'll tell you the whole plan on where this engine's gonna go now. And yeah, it's a bit of a different plan to what I first had. So stay tuned for that. But moving on, there's two bungs you need to put in. There's one at the back here, just there. It stops the oil coming out. And then one in the front here. So they come in the box, and they have to take those out so they can clean it out properly. Okay, that's the block done. It's been decked as well, obviously, so that's nice and smooth for a head gasket to go on there, and we can drop our head on. But first you have to obviously put all the pistons in and the crank and everything. So that brings me to the crank, which is over here So with the crank, it's been polished, and I've also got the crank nose added on here, the collar. So I wasn't gonna do this, but I don't know, while the crank's out, it was like an extra $180 to get this put on. But at the moment, because of COVID, it's like a freaking 2-month wait. But anyway, so the surface area of this flat piece here, this flat section, normally is like half the size of that. So when the oil pump slides on there, and this is where it grips to turn it, it has way less grip and it's like sloppy. So with this extension they put on here, it's this whole collar piece. I'm pretty sure it's welded on there. I think it's welded. They put this collar on there, welded on, and then it's got a bigger surface area so that the oil pump can grab on there and you're not going to have that issue. So I got this done. I also got the grub screws in here. So they're in a bag in that box of goodies, and that allows you to get in and clean all the shit out from inside there. So that's always a good idea as well. You don't have to get that, but that was like, while it cranks out, it wasn't that much extra to get it done in the grand scheme of things. And so yeah, they polish all here where your bearings sit, and it's looking really nice and shiny. But yeah, that's the crank. And then that leads me to, alright, so this is the most expensive part of the process. I've got forged pistons, rods, and bearings. And so with the brands, CP was the cheaper one. Actually, with the brands, originally we were going to go spool, like a whole spool kit, and it would have been cheaper. But because of COVID, the stock is just way behind. So CP had stock, mainly had stock, and your ARP race series, ACL. And your ACL performance had the bearings. So apparently they all do the same shit. But yeah, so I haven't opened these boxes yet, so I'm pretty excited because that looks nice. They've been balanced and clearanced or whatever they do. American. Okay. Carlo. CP. Got some cool stickers. Wow, they give you 2 stickers. That's sick. Oh, yep. They're in a box. This must be the rings. Oh, damn. Holy shit. That's nice. This is the first time I've ever had any aftermarket parts inside the engine. This is crazy. And if you've seen the stock one, like, this is so bloody nice compared to the stock one. Very light. So that's your forged piston. So obviously forged being a lot stronger than stock, which is definitely ideal. What's that? That's that little bearing piece. It's also nice and brand new. Wow. So I think they take these out, they measure them, and then they hone the block to match. And then your ring size is the gap, the ideal gap. So there'll just be some round rings in here, nothing special. But that's the pistons. Now for the rods. These are mainly, it powers the winners, so that's me. Alright, so these have all been balanced. You can see there, it's got numbers written on them. Why is there spare ones on the end? Okay, I definitely need to not mix anything up here. I'm guessing that would be bad. Okay, what have we got in here? Oh, damn! That's cool. That's sick. Look at that, little Rodney. Yeah, nice. Definitely look the part. even though it goes on the inside of your engine, you can't see that. But anyway, that's sick as. I need to take some cool photos of this stuff. So with the measurements, I have no idea what measurement it is. It's something to do with this, obviously. But, oh no, wait. Is it balancing them? No, I really don't know. But one thing I learned with Tom is you match the numbers to the numbers on each side. And then they also have little grooves in here. It's all like a big Lego kit, really. It's just getting it all spot on because it is an engine. And it's all moving parts, so. And then your bearings are in here, which are sticky taped together, so I can't get into them. So these are your bearings. They're just like a shim that go in there. Nice new ones of those. And then in here, you got more bearings, and then is it the big end bearings? So there's a bearing on each half. Yeah, one of them's big end, one of them's mains. I've got no idea what I'm talking about with that, because that's, yeah, my knowledge ends about there. I know where they go. I don't know which one's called which, but anyway, there's a bunch of parts here, so check out this sick montage.
These flames ain't going out. This building is crumbling to the ground. Don't think that we can stop it now, 'cause baby our love is gonna burn down. You know these flames ain't going out. This building is crumbling to the ground. Don't think I wanna stop it now, 'cause baby our love is gonna burn it down. Burn it down.
Far out. Forged freaking pistons. Alright, so you waited around this long. Thanks for that. Now I'm going to explain to you what my plan is going forward. So obviously you've been hearing me say my cash flow slowed up because my job has just plummeted. Finally COVID's caught up with it. And yeah, there's not much income. But did sign a new contract, so there's hope for more to come in the future. More money, more problems. Anyway, hopefully get another apprentice on board. If anyone's interested in like apprenticeship, definitely hit me up. You need to be at least 18 though, and on the Gold Coast. I am looking to employ someone in about 3 months time from now. But yeah, if you are keen for that, let me know. So the plan, the master plan. All right, so I didn't think it was going to cost this much to do a forged engine, and I didn't really want to put that much money into an engine to make it like super strong when it's only going to be in the 180, which is going to be like a street car that's not pushing crazy horsepower, and it's not going to be drifted anymore. Not dry drift anyway. And dry drift is where you put the most amount of pressure on your freaking car out of most things. Circuit racing probably put the most pressure on that setup that's ever had, but anyway. The forged engine, RB25. So a lot of stuff was going on all at the same time. I actually paid for an RB26 head that was in the UK. Crazy. So if you're watching this, man, shout out to you. Thanks heaps, but unfortunately it didn't work out because the price, he was going to give me a mad discount because of the exchange. On his end, he wasn't going to be getting much, but because of the conversion of the money. But on my end, I was getting like a reasonable good deal. And it's just hard to find them over here in Australia at the moment. Freaking RB26 heads, I swear everyone's just holding on to them. They used to be out for sale all the time. Now very rare, and if they are, they want stupid money. So $3,000 is about the normal price here, but I don't know, that's second hand. To get a brand new one, it's about $3,700 landed, and you know, like, I really wanted to have an RB26 head on the RB30 bottom end that's sitting over here for the R32 Skyline, so that I could be like, just say it's a GTR because it has a GTR head. But it's just like the timing, it was gonna happen, but the timing was really shit. I had like a heap of tax bills come through right at the same time, and I had to be one of those guys and ask that dude to send the money back, and it was being a real fuck around for him at his end as well. He was like trying to figure out freight, and like because of COVID, I think it made it harder for him, but he was doing a good job. It was actually my fault. I said, can we pull the pin? And yeah, so I didn't realize at the time, but if you import parts or cars, anything, import it over from another country, you actually pay import tax as well. So I didn't counter that into the price. So I got that money back, and then that's what I used to help pay to get the RB25 forged engine back. So I got that now. So the forged engine is going to be no use in the 180SX. It's not going to be worth having it in there. It'd be cool to say, yeah, forges, but I'm going to put it in the 32. I'm going to have a RB25, just a forged RB25 in the R32 here, just because like it's going to be the one getting thrashed the most, and it just makes the most sense to me. I think that makes sense. And then in the 180, I'm just going to have a stock RB25. I'm just going to save up and buy a stock RB25, chuck it straight back in, completely stock, and then yeah, just drive that around and hope I don't blow it up. But they're going, a stock RB25 at the moment is about $4 grand, $4,000. Like, the prices are insane. They were $1,000 when I first built the car. But anyway, every engine's going up, so it doesn't matter what you do. Everything's expensive. But yeah, so RB25 stock engine in the 180, and the RB25 forged engine in the R32. Also, another thing, the 26 head, apparently there's not that much benefit to them. I wanted one because they sound freaking sick. Apparently they sound shit with an RB30 block, but I don't know about that. There's just a lot of things that weren't really worth it. $3,000 for the head, or I've already got a head here that's an RB25 head, $300 on Marketplace. Like, 300 compared to 3 grand, that's a big bloody difference. So yeah, I've got that 25 head is going to be going on the RB30 block for something else in the future. I don't know, I'll have it as a backup, but I'll just save it as a, because I've already got this and I've already got that other head. The reason I bought that because I thought my head with the hole in it wasn't repairable, but it is. So yeah, look how much freaking shit there is here, eh? I'm really I really have to like go through this and sell it. I really want to keep everything, like just literally everything, but there's actually a fair bit of money just sitting here, so I will go through and sell some shit, clear up some room. I want to put like a bench in here so I can assemble the engine and whatnot over here where it's a bit cleaner. Yeah, anyway, so that's the plan with the engine setups. And yeah, I'd love to do more, but just money is getting in the way, as everyone knows. Freaking money, it's always in the way, and money and cars just don't mix together. So yes, hopefully I can just save up, get an RB25 and put it in the 180, whack the wiring back in there, a new loom. I want to get those air cups for it, but obviously gonna have to save up for that. Everything's gonna be time to when I can afford to do it all, and then the respray, which is expensive, we'll have to wait as well. But hopefully I can just get it going again. I'm sick of not driving. It's so miserable. Like, go to car meets and don't have a car. It's just, it could be worse. I know, I'm just complaining. But yeah, I got up to the stage of this where I was like, well, what can I do that doesn't cost money? And so I started welding up some shit, started grinding it, but the grinding takes forever. And the tubs haven't been done because Xavier, he's been a bloody traveling the world. Me Wayne Welder just bailed on me, just started traveling the world, and he hasn't come back. Nah, joking. He's it's his birthday today actually. So happy birthday to Xavier, and he's got his Cressida here, very exciting. We got the gearbox back into that thing. We're just waiting on him to get the parts organised for the drive shaft, and then he's got a diff and half shafts there, but you can check that out on his channel. And then hopefully we can get this manual swapped and we can do some drifting at Matsuri. I don't care how much money I have, I'm still going to Matsuri. So that's definitely happening. My tyre wall is full of tyres and rims that are all ready to go for the 32 because they used to be on the 180. But yeah, I don't know. What do you reckon I should do with this RB25 head and the 30 block? Should I put it in the R32? Obviously not. The FC, that would be really, really cool, but 13B is probably going to be sicker. So that'll be a long term, but somewhere down the track. In the S13 that has the LS1, or put in the Subaru. Nah, I'm just talking shit now. I need to go because I'll just keep rambling. But yeah, so up and coming. There's so much shit to do. Just it's going to be a bit slower now because of no money. I got heaps of time, which is awesome because I've been spending heaps of time with Lorenzo, which is sick, and I appreciate that. That just explains what's going on at the moment. Got the forged engine, super keen to start building that. Dad's gonna help me assemble it because I got no idea, and it's between now and when he gets here for me to like look up on the internet and figure out how to assemble an engine. So any tips would be very appreciative. But thanks heaps for coming to watch this episode. Make sure you hit the drop. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop some comments below and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed and you watched a few videos, hit that button. Just hit the button. Alright, see you guys on the next one. Alright, cylinder 3. I don't think this is working right.